Ardnessa, in the bishopric of Durham, the maritime key of the Palatinate. The early years of Robert de Brucy were passed at the court of King Henry I of England. At the same time, Earl David of Scotland resided there, and a close friendship sprang up between the two young nobles. When David came to the throne, he granted, by charter to his friend, the land of Annan Dale, which embraced the largest part of the county of Dumfries. He had also been associated with David in military adventures, serving within Guernsey conquest and part of the period of his government of Cumbria, the district comprising the Lothians and Galloway that had been bestowed upon David after the death of his brother Prince Edgar. The time came, however, when these two friends were parted. King David I, supporting the cause of Maud the Empress, his niece, declared war against King Stephen of England and advanced with a great army to Northallerton in Yorkshire to meet the forces of the English monarch Thurston, the aged and infirm Archbishop of York. Although he could not personally take the field against the invader, summoned the nobles of his diocese to repair to the support of a standard with all their powers. Amongst the rest, Robert de Brucy, notwithstanding he had a very great kindness for the King of the Scots, yet with his son Adam, a young nobleman of great worth, brought a great company with him, which not only in force of arms, but in splendor and vigor of youth, much adorned the whole army. As the Pedal Standard 69, Book of Bruce. This Robert, an old man of great wealth, slow of speech, yet who expressed himself with great readiness of words from his youth, having been a great follower of the King of Scots, and very familiar with him, obtained leave from his companions in arms to pass over to David, either to persuade him to desist from his enterprise, or, as he was bound to him in fidelity and fealty, by holding the lands of Annandale and others of that king, to disoblige himself by renouncing his fealty. In his speech to David, he represented to the king that the English and Normans, against whom he was arrayed, had repeatedly restored the power and authority of the Scottish monarchs, were driven out by disloyal subjects, and that they were more faithful to the royal family than were the Scots themselves. He begged his friend and patron to withdraw from the contest, and concluded in the following affectionate strain: "It brings my heart to see my dearest master, my patron, my benefactor, my friend, my companion in arms, whose service I have grown old, thus exposed to the dangers of battle or to the dishonor of flight." As an old acquaintance and liegeman, he was sent to the Scottish king on his invasion of England in 1138 to offer terms of peace, and it is curious to note that he was associated in this embassy with Bernard de Balliol on the king's refusal these two barons, whose descendants were destined to be such deadly rivals. As an old acquaintance and liegeman, he was sent to the Scottish king on his invasion of England in 1138 to offer terms of peace, and it is curious to note that he was associated in this embassy with Bernard de Balliol on the king's refusal these two barons, whose descendants were destined to be such deadly rivals.
Siward, the first Earl of Orkney. His son Guthrum succeeded him, but died without issue a year later. In 87-5, the earldom reverted to Rognvald, who sent his son Hallador there. But Hallador does not seem to have had much in him of the fighting spirit of the age, and was soon wearied of defending his possessions against the never-ending attacks of the plundering Vikings. Therefore, he returned to Norway, much to the disapproval of his father. Earl Rognvald heard of this. He was ill content with Hallador's journey, and said that his sons would become all unlike their forefathers. Then spake Einar, "I have had little honor of thee, and but little love have I to part from. I will fare west to the isles, if thou wilt give me some help or other. And then I will promise thee, what will gladden thee exceedingly, never to come back again to Norway." Earl Rognvald said he should be well content if he never came back, For small hope have I that thy kin will have honor of thee, whereas all thy mother's kin is thrallbond. So Earl Rognvald gave Einar a long ship all manned, and in the autumn tide Einar sailed west over sea. But when he came to the Orkneys, there lay before him 2 ships of the Vikings. Fuller Woodbeard and Kafskurva Einar fell to battle with them straightway, and won the victory, and they both fell. Then was this sung: Treebeard to the trolls, he gave their Skurva their turf Einar slaughtered. Thereafter Einar became Earl over the Isles, and was a mighty man there. He was an ugly man, and one-eyed Halvin, the sharpest sighted of men. His rule in the islands was beneficent, and all people were devoted to him. It is said that he discovered